Good morning everyone. Welcome to Biology with a Difference with your instructor Babita Rani. In the last few classes we have studied endomembrane system, in which we studied about endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies, lysosomes and vacuoles. Today we are going to study mitochondria and plastids. Mitochondria, as you have studied in earlier classes also, is known as powerhouse of the cell. Why? Because energy is produced here. So cellular respiration takes place in mitochondria. If we look at the shape of mitochondria, it is a double membraned structure. So this is the outer membrane, which is smooth, and inner membrane of mitochondria is folded. And because this is inner membrane, outer membrane is permeable and inner membrane is selectively permeable. Because of this outer and inner membrane, we have two different compartments. This is known as outer compartment and this is known as inner compartment. Why is the inner membrane folded? To increase the surface area where cellular respiration can take place. So we have two membranes in mitochondria, and the outer membrane is smooth, the inner membrane is folded to increase the surface area, and inside this we have cytoplasm, which is known as matrix, which contains all the enzymes required for respiration and some, you can say, ions required during the process of respiration. So this is all about mitochondria. Mitochondria is also known as semi-autonomous organelle. Why? Because it has its own circular DNA. This is the circular DNA present in mitochondria. And at the same time, it also has some ribosomes present in it, scattered in the mitochondria. So this is circular DNA and ribosomes are present, and because of these two structures present in the mitochondria, this is also known as semi-autonomous organelle. What do we mean by semi-autonomous organelle? Semi means half and autonomous means which is capable of doing something on its own. So there are certain functions which are carried out in mitochondria on its own. That is why it is known as semi-autonomous organelle. And why? How is it capable to carry these functions? Because it has its own DNA. So there are certain functions carried in mitochondria which they can carry on their own, and they are capable of doing so because they have their own DNA and ribosome. The ribosome present in mitochondria is of 70S type, and all the eukaryotes have 70S type of ribosome. Here we have one exception in ribosome of mitochondria, which is in mammalian cell, and there we have 55S type of ribosome. So this we have to remember. All the eukaryotic cell has 70S type of ribosome in their mitochondria, whereas mammalian cell has 55S type of ribosome in their mitochondria. So what is the function of mitochondria? It will help in cellular respiration. Why does it help in cellular respiration? Because all the enzymes required for the process is present in the mitochondria. Next is plastids. There are two different types of plastids, and this is an organelle which is present only in plant cell. This is absent in animal cell. It is present only in plant cell. Some euglena may have it, some protists have it. An example is euglena. And this is of two types. Two types of plastids are found. What are those two types? One is leucoplast, which is colorless. That means it does not have any pigment in it. And the other is chromoplast, which is colored and it has pigment present in it. This colorless leucoplast is used for storage of food. Storage of food. Food are of three major food is of three different types. So, for storage of carbohydrate, we have amyloplast. For proteins, we have eleuroplast. And for fats and oils, we have elaioplast. So, these are three different types of leucoplast. Example for amyloplast, because it is storing carbohydrate, example is potato. For eleuroplast, because it is storing protein, examples are pulses. For elaioplast, we have different oil seeds. So, these are examples of different leucoplast which may be present in these. Next is chromoplast. Chromoplast, the most common type of chromoplast is the chloroplast, which is green in color and it helps in photosynthesis. So, we have chromoplast, the most common. These are colored plastids. So, most common is the chloroplast, which is green in color and it helps in photosynthesis. The other chromoplast may be red in color, brown in color, pink in color, orange in color. So, these are different types of colors, and chromoplast generally helps in providing colors to, it provides colors to different parts of the plant. For example, leaves, which is green in color because of chloroplast, the fruits, the flowers, all are colored because of the chromoplast present in them. So, chromoplast also helps in pollination because color of flower attracts insects. So, chromoplast may also help in pollination. Now, let us look at the structure of chloroplast. Chloroplast is also a double membraned structure. So, this is one membrane and this is the other membrane. In this case also, outer membrane is permeable, inner membrane is selectively permeable. Then this is connected to thylakoid stacks and they are connected to the inner membrane. They may also be connected to each other inside, and one of it is known as thylakoid, which contains the chloroplast. So this is chloroplast, and these together are known as grana. These are lamellar structure which is joining two grana. This is the stroma. It also has its own circular DNA, and ribosomes are scattered. Ribosome. This ribosome of chloroplast is also of 70S type. Ribosome of chloroplast is of 70S type. So this is the structure of chloroplast. Two membranes are there, the outer membrane and the inner membrane. I have not written outer membrane over here. Outer membrane and the inner membrane. So two membranes are there, outer membrane and inner membrane. Both of them are smooth. Inside the membrane we have the substance which is known as stroma, and in that stroma we have thylakoid which contains the chloroplast, and stacks of thylakoid are together known as grana, and these grana may be either connected to each other or connected to the inner membrane with the help of a lamellar structure known as lamella. They have their own DNA and they also have their own ribosome. Ribosome is of 70S type. So these chloroplasts are also known as semi-autonomous organelle. Why they are known as semi-autonomous organelle? Because they also have their own DNA and ribosome, so they are capable of carrying out certain processes on their own. Let us see, compare the mitochondria and the plastids. If we compare mitochondria and plastids, both of them have their own DNA. Similarities, own DNA, the DNA is circular, own DNA. They also have their own ribosome. Because of these two structures present in mitochondria and plastid, they are called semi-autonomous organelle. Besides this, they also have two membranes, double membrane bound structure. So these are some of the similarities. When we compare, we write both the similarities and the differences. So these are the similarities between mitochondria and plastid. Now what are the differences? If we look at the differences, both of them are double membrane bound structure, but the inner membrane of the mitochondria is not smooth, whereas inner membrane of the plastid is smooth. So one difference is inner membrane of mitochondria is not smooth, whereas in this case both the membranes are smooth. In mitochondria, one membrane is smooth, one membrane is not smooth. Inner membrane is folded, if you remember, inner membrane is folded here. Number 2 is, this is here cellular respiration is taking place. Cellular respiration takes place in mitochondria, whereas chromoplast has different, plastids have different functions. Leucoplast store food, Chromaplast help in pollination and providing color to fruits and flower, and chloroplast they help in photosynthesis. So, based on function also you can write the difference. So, what are the functions of plastids? Storage of food, photosynthesis, and providing color to parts of plant. Another difference can be mitochondria is present in both plant and animal cell, whereas plastid is present only in plant cell. So, mitochondria is present both in plant and animal cell, and plastid is present in only cell. So, if we compare mitochondria and plastid, these are some of the similarities, and the below ones are the differences. Whenever it is written in question, you have to compare two organelles or two things. There you can write both the similarities and the differences. So, this is similarities are mitochondria, plastids both have their own DNA and ribosome, hence they are known as semi-autonomous organelle. Both of them are double membrane bound structures. If you look at the differences, the inner membrane of the mitochondria is not smooth, it is folded, whereas both the membranes in plastid is smooth. The cellular respiration takes place in mitochondria, storage of food, photosynthesis, providing color to different parts of the plant like leaf, flower, fruit is done by plastids, whereas mitochondria is present in both plant and animal cell. So, these are the difference between mitochondria and plastid. Because cellular respiration is taking place in mitochondria, and it is the site of generation of ATP, which is biological currency of energy. The organisms which require large amount of energy have more number of mitochondria, and the maximum number of mitochondria is found in the, you can say, wings of insects, in the flight muscles of insects. There they have 5 lakh mitochondria per cell. Isn't it amazing? Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, do share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon to get the notification whenever a new video is released. Thank you for watching.